Hello and welcome, my beautiful, vibrant souls, to today's portal reading. Woohoo! So I'm filming and releasing this on 2/22/22. You are welcome to watch this at any other point, should you like. But this is kind of aimed at today's portal. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Back to my old friends, my vibrant souls who have been glowing and growing here for a moment, as well as all my new friends, my new vibrant souls that are blossoming as we speak. I'm so happy to have you here, especially on such an auspicious occasion. So for those of you who might not be aware, it's the 2/22/22 portal. This is some big time energy going on here. Very, very, well, yes, auspicious. I'm like, I already used it, but it bears repeating. A really, really important day. So, the number 2 in numerology, just like the quick and dirty summary here, really talks about decisions, crossroads, balancing your own energies, as well as, of course, partnerships. So this is the portal that's really going to open up new energy regarding any or possibly all of those topics for you. So today's reading is to kind of look at what is this portal going to bring in for you more specifically. We do have 3 groups to choose from. As usual, we have group 1 with this orange calcite. Is she in the frame? Yeah, look at her. What a beautiful baby. We have group 2 with this butterfly. And we have group 3 with, oh, my absolute faves, the blue goldstone. Look at her. She's like cosmic disco energy. I love it. Oh, love it, love it, love it. So, feel free to take as long as you need. You can pause the video if need be, meditate, contemplate on the stacks in front of you, and whenever you have found the one that resonates with your energy, head down to the corresponding timestamps in the description box below and head to your selected option. And with that, I'm going to start with group 1 over here, okay? I'm ruining everything. Okay. Alrighty. Hello, group 1. Okay, so it's really interesting because the orange calcite is, I have this little palm stone because A, I love palm stones, but B, the orange calcite one is supposed to be something that's really good for energy clearance, and it's like a very light-hearted energy. It's really good for energy cleansing. So a lot of the times when I pick this, I'm like, or when I put this, I feel drawn to use this for a certain pile. I'm like bebopping around, having a great time. But this one feels a lot more mellow. I do want to make note while I was shuffling, I had all 3 piles in front of me, and I'm kind of, the way I'll shuffle for pick-a-cards usually is like I'll kind of just let however, whatever order the cards need to come out in, I'll go deck by deck and I'll shuffle. So if, a card flies out and I'm like, I know instinctively that's, meant for group 3, I'll put that one down in the group 3 pile, and I won't necessarily always go in order. I try to, but the cards that come out when they do. So I say this all because when I was shuffling, a lot of the cards for group 1 throughout all the decks were like, I have, oh no, you guys, okay, I was having fruit. I was having apple slices, and I actually dripped apple juice from the slice on the card. Sorry, it was sticky. I wanted to fix it. Sorry. Maybe you're in a sticky situation. But something that kept happening was I would like have the intention of like, okay, I'd like to pull a card from, this deck or this deck for group 1. And I would end up pulling for like every other deck first, and then group 1 would come last, paradoxically. And so what I kind of feel like is that there's what's coming through is that this portal is going to be moving something along in accordance to divine timing. Divine timing is absolutely a factor in this situation. I feel like you're either being asked to have patience or you've had to be patient for quite a long time. This has kind of like Hanged Man meets Judgment card energy. And I'm definitely kind of picking up on that. So I did just want to make note of that first. Pardon my sniffle. And being paired with the orange calcite, I feel like you're being encouraged to try to really cleanse your energy and like do things that you find uplifting and inspiring, or like energizing on a regular basis, because I do feel like this has this kind of like marathon, not a sprint kind of energy. And if you've been in it for a minute, I can imagine that would get tiring. So seeing if I get anything else before I flip your cards. For some reason, I'm hearing the phrase home run. So if this is something you have had to wait on, or you are having to wait on, it's going to be well worth it. It's going to be like right on target. If you're trying to have like a massive project and this is the undertaking, and you're kind of doing like maybe the planning stages, because they're showing me the Two of Wands. If there's like, you know, the planning stages, just know that, you know, this has this kind of stitch in time saves 9 kind of energy. Like, even if you have to put in more work right now, or things are moving slower than you'd like, they're gonna produce really wonderfully grounded results. So don't be afraid to take your time. You have plenty of time. Don't be afraid to wait. Don't be afraid of any delays, because what's really happening, and this is an analogy I use if you've ever gotten a personal reading with me, where I'm like, I know everybody hates divine timing, myself included, and it's like, God, I don't want to deal with delays anymore. But the way I try to kind of liken it is that it's like if spirit's like baking you something. Yeah, you could demand that it comes out of the oven 20 minutes early, but are you really going to want it? Like, wouldn't, you know, if you just wait for it and find other things to keep yourself occupied until that happens, you have something tasty and beautiful. And it kind of has that vibe a little bit. Whatever this is, it's going to be very, very well worth the wait and the effort. So let's see what you have for your cards. I want to start here. Jeebus. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm unprepared. Oh, you have heart chakra. This is card 4. You see that? Yeah. So it says the frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. Okay, so again, there's this connection, like finding balance between the mind and the body. So this might be a lot of emotional healing. This could have to do with a very important, significant partnership for you, where things have been either, you know, very difficult, maybe things have been on hold, but it's something where you've been doing a lot of heart healing, I feel, and so is the other person, or just, you know, within yourself. Sorry if you could hear my bones crack. God, they go off like fireworks. It's terrible. And so Spirit really wants you to know this is not for nothing. This is very, very well worth your effort and worth the time. So let's see what else you get. Oh, you have Lilac, first emotions of love. I love this quote too. It's Ben Hecht. I might be mispronouncing his name. I apologize. It says, love is the magician that pulls the man out of his own hat. Oh, I love that one so much. Where I live in the spring, you know, late spring, early summer, we get a ton of lilacs, and it's just, oh, it's dreamy. Absolutely dreamy. So you guys have, okay, 12th house. So I don't know why I was really drawn to philanthropy here. So you could be, in general, getting involved with something. First of all, this could involve a Pisces with the 12th house, or this could involve any placements that you have in your 12th house. It could involve those kinds of areas of life. But with philanthropy, I'm almost getting to try to be, and look at all the green here, I'm noticing it as well. Try to be really like giving emotionally, not over giving, but like giving somebody the benefit of the doubt, or trying to find compassion and forgiveness for a situation. I know that can be really, really hard. But this kind of feels like, well, let me get all the cards out first, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. I'm like, sorry, I want to have them all out, and we can have a discussion. So you have Leo with the Lover. So the words here are expressive, creative, loving, playful, warm, overt, self-confident, flirtatious, glowing, bedazzling, extroverted, vital, guileless, egotistical, juicy, my God, proud, trusting, and excessive. Okay, I just want to make note the words that are sticking out to me the most this time around are expressive and overt in particular, as well as trusting. So we'll talk about it, but I wanted to make note of that. You have, oh, you have receiving. This is card 4, and it's a healing card. Okay. You have Oh, card 48, so that reduces to a 12, which reduces to a 3, and this is villain. All right, I can already see where this is going. Okay, I can't get them to do what I want them to do. I like how we have purple and green here, and we have purple and green as well. That's nice. You have Tiger Lily with security. Choose the safe harbor for now. I can't fix this, you guys. Okay, I'll let it go. So for your tarot, you have the Page of Swords. Oh, the Queen of Pentacles. Look at her. And the Five of Wands reversed. This is actually quite lovely. Okay, so let's talk. So this is, to me, this is absolutely about a relationship for this group. Now, this could be a love relationship because we do have the Lover here. But this is also, so whenever I see the King or Queen of one suit and the Page of, well, usually the same suit, I assume this is parent-child relationship. But sometimes I can also see this as like a parent-child relationship when they're different suits where you're very different people and you have a hard time relating to each other. In general, regardless of the type of relationship this is, with the 12th house coming in and the Five of Wands reversed, I feel like there's been a lot of challenge. There's been a lot of struggle. There may have been issues financially or materially that needed to get solved. But I feel like this is more than anything else a power struggle. And part of the reason why is because there's a lot of triggering here, and there's a lot of emotional healing that's being done, right? The 12th house a lot of the times can really talk about you know, things that are very, very elusive to us. It can also talk about karmic cycles that we're looking to like wrap up in this life. But it's things that we have a hard time being able to see clearly and to understand. And so I feel like you and this other person, there might be multiple people involved in the situation. And I'll explain more in a little bit. So like, I'm going to actually, the two main scenarios I'm feeling here are this is like a family relationship or this is romantic. So I'm actually going to go family first this time around. So the Five of Wands here can represent other family members involved in this. We do have Leo energy represented here. We have Pisces, and we have, woof, so sorry. We have air energy with the Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and earth energy with the Queen of Pentacles. So this would be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So if this is a family situation, for some of you, this is what's going on. I feel like this is a relationship between yourself and a parent. This could also be talking about a relationship between yourself and your child. But this is a parent-child relationship, and this is where I feel like you guys have a hard time seeing eye to eye because look, this person, the Page is looking in a book and then the Queen has her eyes closed. You guys have different focuses. I think that whoever in this situation is more of, you know, the Page of Swords is somebody who loves to learn. They're very eager. They're the little social media buff. They are really unique and innovative, but they're classified by their curiosity and their kind of enthusiasm for learning more than anything else. And I feel like this is in direct contrast with the Queen of Pentacles person, who tends to be very grounded, very earthy, likes to do things methodically, whereas I feel like the Page of Swords, like I said, likes to innovate. You know, this is a more traditional energy. This is more tried and true. This, you know, the Queen of Pentacles might be more materially established than the Page of Swords. And what I feel like here is that there's, like I said, been this power struggle. This Page of Swords person has very unique ways of doing things. They have a lot of different ideas. They're always looking to understand more, and there's like, I don't know if you can see, there's like little bits of stuff, little colorful dust coming out of the book. For this Page of Swords person, learning is magic for them. It's also part of their power. So they're able to really take their ideas, I feel, and like, look at how they're holding multiple light bulbs together, right? It's like take their ideas and like weave them all together to create this kind of really unique perspective, really unique concept, really unique way of talking. It's just like, this is very Aquarian energy. And I feel like because this person's walking on the sword on tiptoes, this individual, the Page of Swords person in this relationship, is always kind of walking a thin line between like madness and genius kind of vibes. And it's just very different. And I feel like this has made it hard to relate to this other person. The Queen of Pentacles person, like I said, is much more tried and true, much more maybe traditional, a lot more solid. And even just look at the difference in the landscapes here, right? There's like a little bit of grass here, but it's pretty open, whereas we have this huge forest behind the Queen of Pentacles. And the thing is like they both have strengths and weaknesses, and I think that they could learn from each other. And I feel as if they're almost looking at different elements of, it feels like they are looking at this disagreement or this power struggle from different points of view. I feel like the Queen of Pentacles person is looking at this like, I have the wisdom of experience, like I have, you know, I've built XYZ doing it this way, and so I want to teach you how to do it that way, or I want to model this for you, I want to share this with you because, you know, this is what I've spent my life doing, or this is what I've really accomplished and achieved, and I want to be able to give that to you, to share that with you, to bask in that with you, and to teach you what I can teach you, regardless of age or type of relationship. You know, this could be like an older sibling, or, you know, age does not have to dictate the rules here. There are some people who are more like the parents as children, and vice versa. So I'll just leave it at that. But this Queen of Pentacles person feels like they have been through so much, and this is how they have learned, and they've really grown into this very poised, very regal kind of person, right? They really built a lot for themselves. And this is where they're coming from. They're motivated to try to share this with the Page of Swords person because they want to save them some of the effort and the trouble that they went through, but they also were able to build something really, really beautiful for themselves, and they'd like to help the Page of Swords person do the same thing. But what the Queen of Pentacles person is missing here is that the Page of Swords person is motivated by different things, learns differently. So where the Queen of Pentacles person might be really motivated by the material results and the kind of very concrete, tangible success of their labor and their efforts, the Page of Swords person, I feel, is more motivated by the process, not the result. The Page of Swords person, like I said, is innovative, likes to learn, very creative problem solver, divergent thinker. But what the Page of Swords person is lacking is, much like the way they're walking on the sword, you know, that can not go so well for them sometimes. With this like image on the villain card, the Page of Swords person might end up in these situations where they kind of gamble and they lose a little bit. You know, and that's part of their learning process. And it may very well be that this Queen of Pentacles person has had to bail out the Page of Swords person before, and is thus like, hey, let me teach you a more solid way, not understanding that for the Page of Swords, this learning process is paramount. Like it's the journey for the Page of Swords, not at all the results or the destination. And the reason why I think this is important is because I feel like I said with the Five of Wands, there's been this power struggle between these two people to understand each other. And I think it's very, very difficult to see the situation clearly because there's so many emotions involved, both emotions for one another as well as emotions that are getting triggered up within each other. Because we do have this heart chakra energy here, and like we have, you know, first emotions of love, right? These are two people who love each other very much. And with this receiving card, I really feel like they've been trying to give something to each other, because the Queen of Pentacles person can probably be a little bit short-sighted sometimes, maybe get a little too rigid. And I feel like the Page of Swords is like, hey, we could try it this way. This might be a better way. The Page of Swords person is much more open to the process of trial and error and to like working on things than the Queen of Pentacles person is. And I think the Queen of Pentacles person could really benefit from what the Page of Swords person's bringing to the table. And this has created this power struggle. And I think what's kept them involved so long and so heavily is that you both you have immense love for each other. You're trying to give each other something with love. But I think because there's been these communication problems, it's almost made it more like this villain situation. And especially with the words that I was attracted to on the Leo card being expressive, overt, and trusting, there may be a lot of really big communication problems, or you guys might really struggle to communicate, or to trust that there might just be this really big difficulty truly understanding each other, but there is this desire to give to one another and to heal what's gone on here. And so, effectively, if this is a family relationship, what this portal is really kind of bringing in for you is, I feel, better communication and understanding. I feel like with Tiger Lily here, the security, it says choose the safe harbor for now. I feel like you're being encouraged to kind of try to de-escalate whatever the situation is and to choose, like I said, compassion for one another, trying to see the other person's perspective, trying to see that the other person is trying to offer you something in the best way they know how, in the way that makes the most sense to you. And so I do feel like this portal is going to bring in a lot more opportunities for heart healing and to actually be able to receive the wisdom and the love behind the gift of experience or, of idea. And so I do feel like there's going to be a lot of healing here. The power struggle, I feel, will be getting resolved for many of you. So this is really, really nice. I like to see that. Now, if this is a romantic situation, I feel like, first of all, there might be an age difference here. There might be similarly a difference in focus. One person could be focusing on their studies. One person could be focused on their career because they could have a very, high profile, high status career. I feel like if this is a romantic situation, this is something where this may have been a love at first sight situation. You may have met in the late springtime, like late May, early June. But just in general, this is something where there's so much love here, but I do feel like it's been hard to ground it. There's been, again, with this Five of Wands, there's been this power struggle energy. And if this is romantic, I feel like this Five of Wands isn't just a power struggle between the two of you. It's there's other outside stuff that's been getting in the way. And it kind of, I feel like, again, we have two people not looking at each other. It's like you guys aren't seeing something about each other. I feel like you're both trying to find some type of security in what areas you feel insecure in this connection. And as a result, you might not understand what the other person's doing, because I feel like your definitions of security and your kind of comfort zone of habits and patterns are very different. And so I feel like you guys are trying to connect, but it's like you guys are missing each other. You're talking past each other. Maybe it's passing ships in the night. You might have very different love languages, and under times of stress, you're not, let's say somebody's love language is, small gifts or acts of service, and another person's love language is words of affirmation. In moments of stress, the person who, prefers acts of service and small gifts might want to, work a lot so they can get some extra stuff for the words of affirmation person. And the words of affirmation person might write a really beautiful love letter to the acts of service, small gifts person, right? And it's not like they don't care. It's just one person, I think, really values words and ideas, and the other person may really value something more tangible and more material. So they're both trying to give each other a gift. They're both trying to say, I love you. And they're not saying it in a way that the other can understand. Because if this is a love relationship for the Leo card with expressive, overt, and trusting, I do feel like there's a problem overtly expressing your needs or some aspect of this connection, some aspect of the love. I was also noticing with this disco ball, it's predominantly silver, and then it's also red a little bit. So this is kind of one of those things where I feel like it looks like it's one way, but it's actually another. And that's very 12th house energy as well. I feel like there is an element to which you might both kind of feel that the other person is the villain here. And this is because there's something about this situation that you're not seeing clearly. I do feel like you guys love each other very, very much, and the strength of that connection, and especially where Leo rules the heart chakra as well, the strength of that connection is what has kept you invested with this person. Even if, you know, you're in like a separation, or you're just like going through a rough patch, you know, this person still is in your heart all the time, and you're in theirs equally. There's a lot of love here, but I feel like there is a massive misunderstanding as well as outside circumstances that have exacerbated this situation. So with security saying choose the safe harbor for now, I feel like you guys might be in a period of stillness or pause or outright separation, or you're being encouraged in moments of stress to take a break, step back, kind of like come back to center and ground, and try to once again kind of pull forth that compassion and that understanding. As well as, you know, with trusting coming out, you're being really encouraged to not only trust in spirit and trust in how things are unfolding, which I know is so fun, but I do feel like with expressive and overt, trust that more clear communication is going to come out of this situation. Because I do have the feeling for many of you this is certainly not over, but there is something that's kind of in the way, and I feel like you guys are trying to deal with it. So what I feel like this portal is going to bring through, you may have had karmic cycles to wrap up together. I feel like this portal is going to bring through that wrap up and is going to bring in peace where there's been some type of tension prior. So I think this is just about everything I'm seeing for group 1. If you need help with your specific situation, please feel free to check out the link to my shop in the description box below. It's been an honor and a joy to get to read for you today. I'm wishing y'all the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer, and I will be seeing you soon. Take care, guys. Bye. Oof. Okay, hi group 2. Okay, so if you were drawn into the butterfly, I feel like you're coming out of the cocoon. This is not something where I feel like you are going to be in the chrysalis anymore. I feel like you've been in that place where you've really been transforming something. Because the wings are roughly the same color, but there's this little part of it that's darker. You might be very close to the end of this process, not quite there yet. But I do feel like, because they just keep showing me something bursting forward. I do feel like you are wrapping up this process either now or very, very soon. And it always looks like he's got a jaunty little smile, because look, we got an eyeball there, and then this little thing. I don't know why, I just love that. So I feel like this is something you're going to be like really, like you're going to be happy about. You're going to be proud of yourself. You're going to be really pleased with the results. So that's beautiful, and I love that. So let's look at what you have. I have your tarot cards I'm going to save for after. Got lots of different stuff. So, ooh, hell yeah, dog. Okay, you got alchemy with card 8. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform miracles of transmutation. Yeah, exactly. Transmutation, transformation. There's something, especially with the 8, that you've been wanting to manifest, and I feel like it was just never the right time, or like there was just a lot of like moving pieces, and we're almost there now. It's like right at your front doorstep. And so this, I feel like, is what's going to be moving forward soon. But let's take a look at the rest of your cards. What order did I do this in before? We have, well, the peony. Prosperity and compassion. Prosperity depends more on wanting what you have than on having what you want. Yeah, I feel for many of you, this was a personal transformation. It's like there's something in yourself you had to see clearly, you had to value appropriately. There is something where it's like you had to do the internal work a little bit in order for you to see an opportunity, or like grasp it fully, or like before spirit could really bring this to you or to your attention, there's a little bit of inner work that had to be done just to like prepare you for it. So good for you guys, because that's friggin' dope. You have Hunt in Gemini. Okay, I'm really seeing communications about. So I do feel like you're going to be getting news about this soon. We'll talk about that in a minute. You have Cancer with the doula. So the words here are feeling, sympathetic, comforting, nostalgic, protective, intuitive, birthing, tender, nocturnal, caring, moody, receptive, lunar, sentimental, introverted, defensive, and family-oriented. So the words sticking out the most to me here are nostalgic, birthing, and introverted. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And you guys have, you have Push Me, Pull Me with card 52. Oh, you have Drought with 74. So this reduces to a 7, I forgot to mention. And with Drought, that reduces to an 11, which reduces to a 2. And you have the Crocus, Breathe, Calm, Rest, Stop, and Just Be. Okay. And then these are your tarot. You have the Six of Wands reversed, the Two of Swords reversed, and the Ten of Swords reversed. Okay, cool. Cool. I see what's going on here. So for a lot of you, I feel like this is a manifestation having to do with career. I'm getting very second house vibes. This is a manifestation having to do with career or something you've really been wanting. For some of you, it's to have or purchase a home or pay off a home, get approved for a loan, something like that. It has to do with your home. And this is something where I feel like on the surface, it's like, why isn't this manifesting? I'm doing all the work. There was this feeling of defeat, I'm hearing betrayal, but failure was really what I was picking up on. And it's kind of this, especially with the one wand through the laurel wreath, it's like, that's almost like the Ace of Wands. It's like, okay, why am I inspired to do this if I'm just going to hit a blockage at every turn? And I feel like it felt like you were in a period of drought, right? Where it's like, I'm already thirsty and starving, and now I I don't have what I need. And it just, I feel like for a lot of you, you've been in this stalemate with the Two of Swords, and it's been hard to understand why. It's been hard to see why. Especially too, because we have the crows here, and crows are very magical birds to me. And they're kind of flying around her, like grabbing her hair and being little dicks. And it kind of has this energy to me of like, not only not really being able to see where you're going, but I kind of feel like it's like, maybe you get a sign pointing you one way and it's a dead end, and then you get a sign pointing you this way and it's a dead end, or you get conflicting signs. It just kind of feels like, if you'll pardon me, Spirit, what the fuck are you doing? It feels like it's been like bumping into walls, kind of an energy. And this is where this push me, pull me comes in, because I feel like it's like, I'm trying to figure out the path. And interestingly enough, we have drought right here, and we have like the little cactus over here. So I feel like this has the energy of like, I'm trying to move forward. I'm trying to figure out the path. I'm trying to understand, like I'm trying to make a decision and be proactive. And it's just like this, like not understanding as to why it hasn't moved forward. And the reason why is, like I said, I feel like you've been alchemizing this energy within yourself. So being really drawn into nostalgic, birthing, and introverted, I feel like you've kind of been in hermit mode a little bit. This could be issues having to do with home and family, or with a mother figure with the Cancer energy. This could involve a Cancer or a Gemini, or those could be your signs. You could have those major placements. But this is something where it was put on a forced pause. And I do feel like there were childhood wounds that needed to be healed and tended to, that directly reflected. It was I don't want to say it's like a, okay, hang on. Let me try to channel for you. Gotta do it slower. For some of you, it was a self-worth problem. But for others, it was not understanding. It's like, what I'm almost getting is, for others, you had to, what I'm hearing is, give yourself permission to want what you want. Because there was something in your programming that was saying, I don't deserve to get to do what I want or have what I want. And there was something where you were holding yourself back, and you weren't valuing your own happiness, to the level that is necessary in order to bring this manifestation forward. For a lot of you, I feel like you've really been working to gain compassion for yourself or for another, particularly somebody who was very inconsistent with you, especially growing up. So this could be a parent that would run very hot and cold, that would be very, stable 1 minute, very unstable and inconsistent the next minute. And I feel like, again, also too, we see this with this Gemini energy and push me, pull me, that's very, very similar. And also with that Two of Swords, it's like you can't make a decision, you can't move forward. And I feel like this was passed on to you, and it made you really doubt your decision-making abilities or doubt what you wanted. I feel like if you're drawn to this group, you may have struggled or still struggle with being able to make a choice and trust yourself to experience your manifestation to the fullest. And this had to be healed, right? Because essentially if it hadn't been healed, then no matter what path you chose, you would always be kind of in this lower vibrational energy of doubt, fear, lacking self-confidence, all that garbage. And so I feel like you were kind of put in hermit mode, more of an introverted energy, in order to heal this. And for many of you, I feel like this process is either, excuse my burp, this process is either wrapping up now or is almost there. You're almost finished with this. Because with the Ten of Swords reversed, I can see that this was a really, really difficult, I feel like this is a situation where it's like you had to betray yourself, right? This feels like self-abandonment. And because this is what was taught to you, this was what was modeled to you, this was what, like, you were trained. What I'm hearing is you were trained emotionally to live in drought. You were trained to survive operating at half capacity when it comes to your happiness. And so if that's your threshold for what it means to be emotionally full, getting to live the life of your dreams, and manifest what you want, it expands beyond that capacity, right? It's too unfathomable. And I feel like because of this is what has created in the past, or part of what's created this self-doubt, right? It's like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, you're waiting for it to not be as good as you were hoping. There's always fear that it's gonna fall apart. And this is because there is this feeling of, like, your subconscious comfort zone is to, like I said, only be operating at like half capacity. So by having this wonderful, vibrant life full of all the things you wanted and full of the prosperity that you wanted in all forms, it exceeds that capacity. And you've been working on healing that very, very heavily and working on trusting yourself much more. I do want to pull you guys an extra tarot card or two because I'm nosy. I don't know why I put the deck back in the box. But I'm kind of nosy to figure out how this is going to play out next. Oh, hell yeah, dog. Knight of Pentacles. Can you see that? Yeah. I want to pull this one. Oh, shit, yeah. King of Swords. And look, there's another little crow raven. Boom. Love it. All right. Oh, and the Page of Wands is at the bottom. I love that so, so much. Okay, this is lovely. This is absolutely beautiful. Especially seeing a page, a knight, and a king kind of come up in some way, shape, or form. This is like the enthusiasm of a child, the movement forward of a knight, and the maturity of, of a ruler, if you will. But this is great because what this is essentially leading to is that this has been a very, very long journey of recovery, and you are nearing the end. And the nice thing about the Knight of Pentacles is, yes, it does take a long time. But when he brings forth his pentacle, it's a very sturdy, solid offer or opportunity, right? And so for many of you, this is involving career or something with your material abundance. And I feel like it's really interesting because I feel like in your head, it may have felt like these are two like unconnected things where you're like, yeah, okay, I'm working on my healing, but I really want to get my career underway. But they are very much intertwined. And you might be seeing that now. This is something that the portal might bring in for you where you can really see the connection, or maybe down the road, you'll look back and see how everything tied together for you. But this is just something where you are finally arriving, and it's a very solid, sturdy new beginning. And with the King of Swords here, this is exactly what we're talking about, decisiveness, right? King of Swords, I call him the man with a plan. Like, he will make a decision. He doesn't give a shit. He also is not like, he's not racked with self-doubt. He can make a plan, make a choice, you know, be decisive, communicate very, very directly, and he trusts in himself because he's so fucking smart. And he's very wise as well, right? Especially with the owl here, very intuitive here. And I feel like you're, especially with all the mountains in the background, it's like you're seeing how far you've come, and what this is bringing in for you, what this portal is bringing in, is the wrap up of this beautiful energy alchemy process where you have transformed into this King of Swords and Knight of Pentacles kind of energy. You are solid, you are reliable, you can make a plan toward your dreams and follow it and have such success out of it. But there's also no more self-doubt. There's no more questioning. There's no more back and forth and torturing yourself with what if, because you've really changed the energy and you now know that you deserve success, and you're asking for more because you're ready for more because you're asking for more. There we go. Yeah, I gotta say, and if you haven't finished up this process yet with the Crocus card, spending time in meditation, especially grounding, because he's barefoot and I was really drawn to that. Spending time in meditation may be very, very helpful. Spending time kind of in that hermit mode, really getting in touch with your higher self. And, you know, asking Spirit, how do I trust myself more, right? You know, what do I need to do? What kind of, and looking for signs in that way, right? And also just being patient with the Knight of Pentacles and knowing that healing is not only non-linear, it is an ongoing process. But I do feel as if you've kind of made it to this next step where something you've really been looking for is gonna manifest. So that's absolutely awesome. I love that for you. Excuse me. I think this is like just about everything I'm really seeing for group 2. If you're looking for help with your specific situation, please feel free to check out my shop link in the description box below. Other than that, happy portal day. I'm wishing you guys the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. It's been an honor to be able to read for you on such an important subject today. And with that, I'm going to move on to group 3, but take care, guys, okay? All right, bye. My chair is squeaking so bad. Okay. Hi, group 3. Okay, so you got my little cosmic disco stick here, right? With the blue goldstone. So I do feel like there is something where there's a new beginning. Blue goldstone can talk about having courage for new endeavors. I feel like you guys are not lacking in courage, but there's a new beginning that's coming around the corner. And I kind of almost feel like you haven't really seen this coming. I don't think this is something where you're waiting for it as much. This is going to be like, oh shit. And you've been manifesting this, whether intentionally or not. But I'm hearing for quite some time for many of you. So love that. So let's see what you've got. I'm gonna move your tarot over here for later. Yeah. You have, realization, card 37. So that reduces to a 10/1. And this one says, the frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in the world. Yes, all right. Kind of feeling like some of you are going through a huge spiritual expansion. That's what this portal is bringing in. But let's see what else you get, because I'm spiritually nosy. You have the pansy, sweet thoughts. Pray you love, remember, and there are pansies, that's for thoughts. So cute. I love it. And you have, do I want to flip this? Yeah, I do. Okay. You've got immediately. Okay, that's the word I was really drawn to, but this is the first house. All right, we will talk about that. You also have, you have the 4th house. So this is roots, and the keywords are family, home, background, comfort, cooking, inner world, real estate, shelter, self-care, rejuvenation, habits, and shell. So the words I was most drawn to here were background, inner world, habits, and shell. We'll talk more about it after. And you have, oh, you have communication. Okay, that's card 5. I like it. You have, oh, you have openness. This is card 26, which reduces to an 8, but look at how beautiful that is. What a lucky fella. And you have the Peruvian lily with strength. More effort will get you what you want. And for your tarot, you've got the Fool reversed. Okay. All right, all right. Can I move this over here? There we go. Oh shit, you've got the Tower reversed. Well, look at you guys. We have a little squirrel here and butterflies, which are not usually on that card, but I wanted to throw it out there in case it's important for you. And you have the 3 of Wands reversed. Okay. I have some stuff to say. Okay, so here's what I feel like this portal's bringing in. For a lot of you, I feel like this is not something that you've been actively manifesting, but you've been making a lot of internal changes with the Tower, and I feel like this has everything to do with yourself and your outlook. This could have something to do with your physical body as well with the first house. And I was really drawn before to background, inner world, habits, and shell. So I do feel like some of you are kind of coming out of your shell a little bit more in certain areas. You know, the 4th house can talk about our home, our roots, our emotional foundations, our family. It's usually also where your IC is in your chart, and this can also kind of refer to who you are behind closed doors. So there's some element of who you are that I feel like you are bringing out to the public, because the 1st house is usually that ascendant placement as well, right? So you are bringing it out to the public. There's some hidden part of you that you are starting to share more. And this, I feel, is a slow process. I feel like a lot of you had this realization that you're like, I can't really get what I want out of life. You know, it's just becoming aware of our heart-centered truth. It's like, I can't really become or get what I want out of life unless I'm willing to be more open with people, right? And especially with communication here, to speak more authentically, because we have 2 masks here on the 1st house, so to kind of take the mask off. And I feel like you've been taking steps toward this. You've been working on this, having more openness and having more self-love in the process. And I love that we have the heart here, and the shadow is like twice the size. You know, we have like the smaller heart, the middle size one, and then the bigger one. This is something where it grows and expands over time. You've been working on this, and I feel like it's really changed your perception with the sweet thoughts, right? And it's just, you know, again, we have the energy of a 10/1, so you've been wrapping up a big cycle, and a new one is soon to begin. And I feel like you've really been taking parts of yourself that you used to store in your inner world, in your shell, and you've been bringing them out. You've been reevaluating a lot of your habits that have formed not only how people perceive you, but also how your outlook on the world. And I feel for many of you, this has to do with how you communicate and how authentically you communicate, right? So like speaking your truth, saying what's really in your heart, you know, your heart-centered truth, advocating for that, right? And with this, more effort will get you what you want. I feel like you had this realization before where you're like, okay, I've got to, if I want to get this out of life, you know, if I want to have a different experience, I have to do something I've never done before. I've got to start, because I feel for many of you, you had this experience where maybe you had a period of time where you like met people, or maybe people like from your past came back, and it's like I feel like they had a certain perception of you, and when they shared that with you in some way, shape, or form, and I feel like it almost took you aback is kind of the feeling I'm getting, where it's like, what? I'm not like that. Or like, it's like, oh, you know, this is only a little tiny part of me. This is just part of my public persona. And with this locket image here, I feel like there's these really important parts of you you keep very, very close to your heart and soul. You play your cards close to the vest a lot. And that's, you know, no shame, no shade at all. And with this blue goldstone here, I feel like you've really been getting more courageous. You've been coming out of your shell. And again, really reevaluating your habits, especially with the shell image, kind of like the spiral image here. Reevaluating your habits and making those changes with the Tower reversed. Really like taking slow, steady action to create a different reality and a different experience for yourself. And what this is doing is that this is now getting to this point where for this portal, I feel for many of you, you are getting an opportunity. And with the Fool reversed and the Three of Wands reversed, I don't think you're going to see this coming. Well, now you will because this reading. I think you're not seeing this coming. This is not even on your radar. This is on the horizon. This is something where the changes you have made have signaled to the universe that you value your authenticity, that you value your truth. And as a result, and you've put a certain amount of trust in the universe already by opening up more. And as a result, the universe is like, okay, you're ready to move forward. You're ready to have change because you're putting in the work. And if you've ever gotten a personal reading with me, A, thank you. But B, I talk about this all the time where it's like when we change our internal frequency, there's this process where it kind of creates a ripple effect. So we can be, our internal frequency, our vibration could be higher, we could have raised it, and then our external reality kind of changes, you know, either in pieces or all at once to match that frequency, right? And so I feel like you've been making the changes, you've been doing the work, and as a result, this is like creating that ripple effect. And I feel like this is gonna be big because they're showing me like this huge wave from this, and I'm like, oh shit, in a good way. And I feel like with the surfboard here, like get ready, home skillet, like you gotta surf that wave. I don't know. And this, again, really comes from you taking the mask off, but you also shifting your perception, because I feel like the more authentically you present yourself to the world, the more it changes not only people's experience of you, but your experience of other people. I feel like for a lot of the time, because these look pretty, even though they're not intertwined, they look kind of intertwined and almost a little messy. I feel like that you always felt like there may have been some bridge between you and other people, and this came from struggling to communicate authentically. And really share what's in your heart and be able to trust that your emotions are allowed to take up space, and what you feel and what's real to you is allowed to have space. What I'm hearing is to have the floor. So yeah, I want to see what this, I'm going to pull tarot because I'm going to be nosy, but I want to see what this is because I am excited for you. And I was really drawn to immediately, so I do feel this is coming in very soon for many of you. It is this. Oh, dip. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man. Okay, so Pisces season might be important. We are right up on that. Are we in it? Yeah, we're in it. Never mind. I suck. I forgot. We like just entered Pisces season like yesterday, so yay. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles reversed. And let's see what else we get. The Eight of Cups reversed. Hang on. All right, I want one more because I feel like I'm missing a piece of the story. This is, I'm seeing yes. So, oh shit. Okay, the Devil, and the Ten of Cups. I'm like, I know we're not done here. Cool. All right, this is telling me the story. Interesting. Strength is on the bottom. Noise. Okay. So, I feel like, you know, the Hanged Man is always about a period of pause. You could be a Pisces, or, you know, you could be, we have Aries represented with the first house. We have Cancer, we have Pisces, and we have this bad boy. Capricorn. There we go. With the Devil. But we start off with this Hanged Man energy. I'm just making sure it's in the frame because y'all know how I do. With this Hanged Man energy, I feel like we have, you know, realization, and this is always about having an epiphany, and the Tower can be about an epiphany as well. I feel like you kind of had this epiphany, and you've been in this period of time, because I'm really drawn to the little sling. I feel like you're almost like in like the universe's little sling. You're in a safe place, but you've been seeing how you've been having a lot of spiritual epiphanies and seeing how all the pieces fit together is kind of what I'm getting. And this is the place that you've been in, is really this contemplation, because I feel like whatever was holding you back from, you know, this could be like putting content out there. This could be just like advocating for yourself very authentically, sharing your feelings, having this openness between the heart and soul and letting that energy flow very, very freely. I feel like there's something where you felt kind of caged, honestly, okay, let me talk about it this way. So this is where we start. We just talked about the Hangman, right? And then I feel like these are what you've been kind of going through with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. this can talk about, you know, really, really struggling to feel free within yourself, right? You know, might be struggling with material instability, but this is also very much about your self-worth. So I feel like there's something here where it's like there were maybe self-worth wounds, and these could be from childhood, that created, I'm feeling like self-destructive habits a little bit, or more like self-effacing, like you're kind of, you're capping how much happiness you could have. And I almost kind of feel like it created this energy where it's like, and this isn't usually what the Eight of Cups is about, but because we have the 1 cup and there's like the flame here, I feel like it created this energy where you would like, you might be prone to either not engage with altogether or walk away from something you were actually really passionate about, because there was this fear that it would slip through your fingers. There was this fear that it would like fall apart. And the deep root of this comes from not feeling good enough, right? Feeling like this thing was going to either like reject you or control you with this image right here. For some of you, I do want to say this can be about a relationship with a 10 of Cups. And I feel like if this is about a relationship, whether one that you are currently involved in or one that you have been wanting to manifest, I feel like there was this deep-seated fear here of losing your freedom and independence. But I feel like your freedom and independence, while that's a good thing, has moments in your life, or has had moments in your life, where it's been a crutch, where it's been controlling you. And it's because there's this fear of being completely open. And especially because we have the 2 people here as well, this could very well be about a relationship. And if this isn't you, that's also could be something where if you are with somebody like this, if your person is somebody who likes to be hyper independent, and it's almost this energy again with this version of the 8 of Cups where it's like giving up before you even start, your person might be kind of like prone to walk away, prone to, especially if you kind of felt like things were going well, it's like prone to walk away. But whether this is you or this is somebody that you're involved with, the reason why this happens with the Devil here, again, is fear. There's this fear of being trapped. There's this fear of being controlled. And I feel like there's this fear of being trapped, being unable to be yourself, because this has this energy of like, again, struggling to really be your most authentic self. And so if you were drawn to this pile for yourself, and this sounds like you, this would be probably like you like to spend a lot of time alone or do a lot of things independently. And part of this is because being alone is a safe place for you. It's historically a good place because you know you'll be accepted, right? You know that you'll be loved and that you won't feel trapped in a situation where you're being criticized and manipulated and treated poorly, especially if that's like what you've had for past experiences. And I'm so sorry if that's the case. If you are dating somebody like this, this is what they have been thinking about and kind of reflecting on with the Hanged Man. And I feel as if they're coming to the conclusion, it's like a 2-part thing. One is that they need to take a leap of faith. I feel like they've been slowly working on expressing themselves more or understanding themselves better. They're having this like heart awakening, and being able to communicate more clearly. And if this person has walked away from you, they're thinking about that a lot. Or even if this person's just kind of gone kind of quiet with the Hanged Man, there's been like, you know, little to no contact or communication. This person's really been reviewing these patterns, and they've really been coming to terms with the fear that they've been dealing with. And I feel like they're kind of getting a shift in perspective in the sense that their freedom used to be the thing that they would lean on to not feel like they were being controlled. And I feel like now they're understanding that the way that they've gone about that, because being independent is not a bad thing, right? Loving your alone time is not a bad thing. But if it's much like if you can't be alone, that's a problem. If you can only be alone, that also is a problem. And I feel like if this is somebody that you're dating, your person's coming to the realization that there is freedom in being able to be their authentic self, and they don't have to run away from that anymore. So there's a lot here about becoming comfortable being your authentic self and not feeling the need to run away from that or hide that from other people. And whether this is you or someone that you love very much, this is what is being healed, and this is what's been being worked on. And I feel like with the Tower reversed, taking those small steps as what's created this change and this opportunity for something new. And what that new thing is the 10 of motherfucking cups, which is perfect. This is the happy home card. This is the total emotional fulfillment. We have another 10 referenced here, which is beautiful. For some of you, this is talking about a relationship that you want to take to the next level, maybe move in together, maybe get married, maybe start a family, buy a house, something like that. This is what is coming your way, the opportunity to do that. Excuse me. So you and your partner may be having a very beautiful, important conversation about the next steps in this relationship. If this is just kind of like for you, I feel like you're healing a lot of these old paradigms and beliefs. I don't know why I was like beliefs, about your authentic self, and it's going to allow you to it's going to take you on a beautiful journey to find your ultimate happiness and fulfillment. We have this journeying energy here with the 3 of Wands as well. So I do feel like you are, what this portal is bringing in for you essentially is this shift in perspective, if it hasn't already happened yet. Or I think it already has, but this continual, again, that ripple effect from your shift in perspective and the changes you've been making, and this gorgeous new beginning is going to be available to you with the Fool, the 3 of Wands reversed, and then it's going to bring you to the 10 of Cups. It's going to bring you to your happiness, to your fulfillment, to loving soul-based relationships, to a happy home, to a beautiful family, whatever that means for you personally. I don't know why I'm being called to pull a timing card on that. I don't usually do that, so we'll see what happens. So I kind of want to, because I feel like this is coming, and when I want to get a sense for how quickly that's happening. So let's pull a timing card or two and kind of, oh God. Okay, wow. The cards have a lot to say today. Okay. Interesting. So we have the 4 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, and the 6 of Swords. So the numbers 4, 6, and 7 may be important. This could be talking about April, June, or July. This could be talking about the 4th, 6th, or 7th of a month, something that's 4, 6, or 7 weeks away, possibly months away. But Swords for me usually talk about wintertime. Cups usually talk about summertime. And Swords are usually in terms of like time frames. This is usually weeks. And Cups can talk about weeks to months. So for a lot of you, what I'm feeling like is going to be happening for some of you, this is 6 or 7 weeks away. And it's because there are some details that kind of need to get sorted out, and there's some decisions that need to be made. But for others of you, I feel like April is going to be a big time for whatever this situation is. April is going to be really important. Yeah, and I feel like too with the 6 of Swords, she's got this like little red cloak on her, and red always is the color of destiny for me. It's like you're moving toward your destiny. You're starting, yeah, it's another card of journeying. So you're starting a journey. For some of you, just because we have 2 Cups cards, this is going to be during the summertime. So between maybe the 4th and 7th of a month. So this could be happening in July, like I said, June. It might be like, between like, let's say July 4th to July 7th, something like that. But this is roughly going to be the timing, is over the next couple of months, this opportunity is coming your way. And I feel like this is a journey for sure. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical journey, although I do see that indicated here. But this is the next big cycle in your life. And this is because you've really been doing the work. So bravo for you. I hope this has been helpful for you. I think that's everything I'm really seeing for group 3. If you're looking for help with your personal situation, my shop link is in the description box below. But other than that, it has been an absolute joy and an honor to get to read for you today. I'm wishing you guys a happy portal day, and may life bless you many times over with the best, brightest, and most beautiful things. All right, love bugs, take care, okay? Bye.